How many lovers have you made today? Chapter 5, Part 3. Celestia is trotting through the halls of the castle in search of the resident human. Now that everything has come to light, she wants to assure him that whatever problems may arise can be solved together, and he does not have to carry this burden alone. This is upsetting in many ways. It makes her question if he trusts her, or if he's afraid that everything will come crumbling to the floor, should he not hold it together. She can't blame him. He had just recently lost two of his closest friends, and she knows how much that affected him. Now he's probably worried about everyone and how their actions could destroy what little he has. Celestia understands that feeling. She felt it herself towards Luna when she first returned. But things worked out, thanks to Anon. While they may disagree, or even fight, she wants him to know that they'll always work things out in the end. Celestia nods with confidence. However, that feeling fades as she remembers she hasn't found Anon yet. She searched the dining hall, her bedroom, the bathhouse, and even the library. Twilight was there, looking busy over something, so Celestia let her be. The only place left is his room, though one he's seldom used over the past few months. It's the only lead she has. Unless he's still shopping around, but it's been almost half an hour, and Anon doesn't stay out in public longer than necessary. Turning toward his old room, she continues on with a newfound goal. While romance is indeed on her mind, she first needs to help Anon realize that what they have is strong, and nothing can break it. A somber mood washes over her. If the worst should happen, and he's not interested in her, she wants him to know that she will accept his choice, no matter how painful it may be. Celestia shakes the thought away. No reason to assume the worst. Anything could happen, and she's sure that with time, everything will work out. Twilight is looking over the library with haste. She needs to find when the sisters were born, and quickly. Her tongue pokes past her lips in concentration as she searches, but her mind is occupied with something else. She's thinking about Anon. The giddy smile on her face hasn't left since she spoke to him, and how they plan to face Cadence and her brother together. This is undoubtedly the first step to making amends, and Twilight is well aware of how far Anon is pushing himself to make it work between them.
By the end, maybe we could be friends,
She whispers to herself.
Who can be friends?
Twilight jumps in fright, turning on a dime to face the voice. Standing there is Spike, and she instantly calms down.
Oh, it's you, Spike.
She places a hoof over her racing heart.
Sorry, I didn't notice you there. I've got a top priority mission I'm on.
Spike cocks his head.
Really? Is it from the princess?
Nope.
Twilight goes back to searching.
It's a secret, but I'll tell you when the time is right.
Spike doesn't understand what she's talking about, but she looks far livelier than when they last spoke, at least.
Oh, do you need any help?
He offers. Twilight taps a hoof to her chin.
Yeah, can you look for any records that reference when the sisters were born?
Any particular reason why?
He asks, while walking over to a shelf to look through.
As I said, it's a secret. So, can you keep this between us?
Spike salutes, puffing out his chest.
You got it, ma'am. This Drake's lips are sealed.
He smiles, looking excitedly at Twilight.
So, what's the secret?
Twilight giggles, holding a hoof over her mouth.
All right. Anon wants me to find out when the sisters were born so we can throw them a party.
Spike drops the book he pulled from the shelf at that. There are so many things about what Twilight said that have Spike questioning his sanity.
Alright, let me get this straight. Anon asked you to help him find the stuff?
Sort of.
Twilight nervously rubs the book in her hoof.
It's a long story. I swear I'll tell you everything tonight, but please, I need you to keep everything as our secret.
I already said okay.
Spike picks up the book that he dropped. But then an idea comes to mind.
I may know where a book like that is.
Twilight whips around to face him.
Really?
Yeah.
He takes a second to think about what he's considering.
Luna has a lot of old books I've never seen before in her room. It has to have that kind of information in there. Or at least something that can help point us to it, if not.
Twilight's fur stands on edge.
Luna, you went into her room?
She asks in concern.
Yeah, she was nice, and I wanted to talk to her about a few things.
Spike faces Twilight.
She's offered a lot of good advice, and I feel better about a lot of things.
Twilight bites her lip, her ears splaying against her head. Spike walks up to Twilight and hugs her, pulling her from her thoughts.
I don't hate you, Twilight,
Spike says.
I know you're trying hard to be forgiven, and that's why I'll always be by your side. Who else could be your #1 assistant?
Twilight's heart melts as her eyes glisten. She hugs him tightly as a weight lifts from her. She's been worried that what happened would make Spike leave, but hearing this makes her sure of the path she's chosen. It also makes her wonder what Luna talked to him about to bring about this change.
Thank you, Spike. I love you. I know it's not something I say often, but I do.
Spike can feel his eyes water a bit.
I love you too, sis.
He clears his throat as they move away.
So, I could probably ask Luna if I can look over her library. I don't need to tell her why, but I have the feeling it's the best shot at finding out when they were born.
Are you sure you're up for this?
Twilight asks.
I doubt you'll get in trouble, but I wouldn't want you to lose whatever trust Luna has in you.
It's fine. We're not doing anything wrong, right?
Twilight shakes her head.
No.
Spike nods.
Alright, I'll talk to her now. There were a lot of books, so it might take some time.
No problem. I'll be here if you need me.
See you at dinner?
I'll be there.
Twilight watches as Spike walks away. Everything is going to work out. She's sure of it. Celestia stands before the door to Anon's room. She lifts a hoof to knock, but stops just shy as the thought comes to her. Could he be resting? To ensure she doesn't rudely wake him, she leans an ear against the door to be sure. There's a set of rhythmic beats from within. He certainly is resting, but not alone. Has her sister come to see him and they decided to take a nap together? She's not sure, and that leaves her apprehensive of what she should do. Shifting from one hoof to another, she weighs her options. She wants to speak with him, but doesn't want to wake him. However, if she's to leave, then she'll lose this opportunity to talk to him. Celestia wants to put this issue to rest as soon as possible, so going is not an option. Then a brilliant thought comes to mind. She'll join in his nap, and when he wakes, she'll be there to talk to him.
It's foolproof.
Celestia silently opens his door and peeks into his room. There's a large lump in the bed, apparently him resting. She remains quiet as she enters and closes the door behind her. She takes care to make each step towards this bed light as a feather. When she gets close enough, she confirms that Anon isn't alone, but the pony isn't her sister, it's her captain. Celestia isn't sure how to take this. How close have they become that Anon would allow her to rest with him? Celestia can feel that other side of her mind starting to act up. It questions how familiar they are, if Luna's captain is in some way a romantic threat. She calms down to settle her thoughts. They're close friends, and for that, she's grateful to see Anon as relaxed as he is when Celestia isn't around. Though that still doesn't mitigate her jealousy, it helps calm her irrational side. Celestia can feel her heart race as her school-filly thoughts boil to the surface. She wants to hold him and whisper sweet nothings as he rests. Kiss him awake and tell him that she loves him. She sits on her rump as she covers her face. She's so embarrassed by these thoughts that it's almost unbearable. She quickly sets her mind back on course. Her plan will still work, even with company. Celestia lifts the blanket off Anon with her magic, and scoots in behind him as she covers them properly. She lets out a sigh of content, resting her head behind Anon, taking in his scent. Her heart and thoughts settle as she relaxes. Now, she'll wait, and then ease his feelings once he wakes. And from there, well, only time will tell. I have a small feeling that Blossom was awake, but she just didn't want to arouse any suspicions. You know, she's sneaky like that. Anywho, let's get on to our stealthy donators. Top donators are 630, BadassWaffle, Only One Thing, Ceru, Orion, IronSky, and Jessie Smith. Matchback 109, Jack TF, Darkside Raiden, Narwhals, Black Moon, Pastel Skies, Austin Roland, Stu, Hex, Sorbet, Thermotra, Domicon Library, RuneSipe 9852, Will, Chris, Twinkie, Rise, Whole Shadow Moon, Luigi 88, Chancellor Quest, Big Smoke 369, Bobcat GGF, Murder Princess, and many more awesome people. Thank you all so much for watching this video and live life to the fullest.